All right, this is going to be a little bit different than my previous videos because I want to be more real with you guys. I feel like I'm not being my most authentic self with my videos. Um, I feel like I'm being more salesman type, only because for my salesman, when you first start out in the industry, they teach you like phone work, right? And they're telling you to always smile when you're talking. And I was kind of implementing that when I was doing my videos at the beginning. And I feel like over time it wasn't me. It wasn't my most authentic self. So I feel like um I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be as real as I can be. I'm gonna do my best, and I feel like this is gonna be a good video. I wanna give you guys really good content because I feel like there's a lot of information that I know of that I'm doing research on, and I feel like it needs to be shared. So I want to share that with you guys. Um, This is a concept that is outrageous. You need to have an open mind if you want to watch this video. Otherwise, you're gonna think I'm fucking crazy. This concept is what I believe the most. I feel like this concept is the one that really resonates with me between, all the religions, all the different gods, the Greek gods, the pharaohs, the Buddhists, the Hindus, all of them. And I feel like this concept ties them all together, and that's why I believe in it more. Because I don't believe these, like with Jesus and all these, with the pharaohs and these gods, and um, I don't believe these are all just made up stories. I believe these were all real people at one time, but they were physical beings. They were gods to the people, but I don't think they were true gods. I feel like they were just higher beings. And I'll kind of elaborate that more in depth later in the video, but I posted on my story. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram or socials, I have all my socials in, what do they call it on YouTube? The Dropbox. I have all my socials in the Dropbox. Go follow me. Go support the boy. Um, but I posted how this concept ties in with the CIA, or how the CIA gives it validity. And it's crazy because I was brought up Christian. I was baptized Christian. I went to Sunday school. I literally went to Sunday school from elementary school to, or I think it was preschool, to um, my senior year in high school, and I dropped out my senior year. Only because to me, it was bullshit. I Now I'm not degrading. If you believe in that, that's your belief. Everybody has their own free will to do whatever they want, to believe in whatever they want, to think whatever they want, to say whatever they want. I'm not disregarding or, you know, shitting on you because I believed in the beliefs of a Christian. I went to church. My family are all baptized Christian. Um, but I feel like with doing research and diving into not normal information is going to lead you into a deep, deep rabbit hole that's going to give you more crazy information. And um, I have two mediums in my family um that I've talked to about this topic, and this woman, her name is Dolores Cannon. Both of my family members told me that she's valid. Like, listen to what she has to say. So, before this video, I made an entire playlist of a lot of her videos. Um, and I believe the first video on that playlist is what I'm going to be talking about. So she's probably going to be going in. She definitely goes into it a lot more in depth than I'm going to be going into. She wrote a whole book on it too. Um, but how do I want to start it? Before we come into this life, we create a contract, and in that contract, we create an exit plan. And I should probably back up a little bit. I'm going to be all over the place. There's a lot of information that is in this whole topic. But a little bit about Dolores and give her, some credit is that she's been doing this quantum healing hypnosis for over 30 years professionally, and she's had over thousands and thousands of clients. And what gives her validity is that all of her clients have said the exact same thing during these experiences that she's been having. So, to me, when you have thousands and thousands of people that are having the exact same experience from what you're doing with them, I think that gives it validity. So, I'll be talking about how the CIA gets into it a little bit, but I want to cover this first. So, when you come into this life, you have a contract, and in that contract, you have an exit plan. Now, this exit plan can go any way you want it to. You can literally die however you want to. You can die by a train accident, you can die by a plane crash, you can die in your sleep. Literally any way you want to die, you can pick it. So, you do that, and that to me changes the whole perspective on death itself. I feel like when you're looking at someone, say a relative, when you look, and I just did this recently with one of my relatives that just passed. When you look at relatives that are passing or have passed, you look at it as they chose that way to pass. They chose that way to go. And obviously, I want to talk about the contract a little bit to give you more information on it. Everybody comes in with a contract, okay? This is your plan on what you are doing in this life, okay? Everybody is coming in with their own plan. So when everybody is coming in with their own plan and you have your own plan and you start coming in contact with everybody else, you're colliding plans. And guess what happens? Life. Okay, we come onto Earth to learn two things: limitations and emotions. Okay, Earth is a school. All of these planets are schools. Okay, and I know that's hard to fathom. Okay, but to this concept, it's true. And when you have a near-death experience, if you've ever heard someone have a near-death experience, they always talk about this big light. There's this big light, or they see this tunnel, and there's this big bright light at the end of the tunnel. My dad has personally told me this experience that he's had, and he's seen this big bright light during a football accident. You don't go through that white light. You only go so far, and then you come back. But this is when you don't. So this is when you go through that white light. And this white light is essentially it's an energy source. It's a big energy, big loving energy source, and you can call it God if you want to. But we are all connected by, you can call it an umbilical cord. Okay, we're all connected by an umbilical cord that connects from our body to our soul. You have to understand that we live on three planes of understanding. Okay, we're soul living in a physical body that has an intellect. Okay, once you start understanding that, this concept starts to make sense. Our soul is connected to our physical body by you can call it an umbilical, it looks like an umbilical cord, but it's like a cord. It's like a silver cord that I believe connects to one of your chakras. I believe it's your strongest chakra. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but I believe it's your strongest chakra. Once you go through that bright light, that cord is severed. And once that is severed, you go into what they call the astral plane. And this astral plane is set up into three main categories that have different departments within those categories. So, right off the bat, in this concept, hell is not real. And it makes sense. When you have an all-loving God that has brought you into this life to learn, okay? Obviously, because if the planets are schools and you're here to learn emotions and limitations, you're here to learn. And what happens when you learn? You fail, right? And when you fail, you learn even more and you grow. You're not going to be punished for failing over and over again by burning for eternity with fucking demons. Make that make sense by an all-loving God. Make that make sense. It's something that the church has invented, and it's a scare tactic. It's to make you believe in the church. It's not even to believe in the religion itself. It's to believe in the church. And like I said, it's a scare tactic. So this astral plane is set up into three categories. And you go to the plane that your frequency is vibrating at. And I hope you realize that everything is energy. Every single thing in this reality is energy, okay? It doesn't matter what the wavelength is. This is just dense energy. This is a slow vibrating energy, making it dense matter. That's what we are. We're slow vibrating energy, making it dense matter. You're taught this in science class. I was literally taught this in, I believe, sixth grade. Shout out Mrs. Reeves. She taught me this, how wavelengths, you literally taught this in school, wavelengths and energy and how it moves. That's what energy is. It's all wavelengths. It's all connected. You go to the category, the plane that you are vibrating at. The first plane is the lower astral. And I don't believe anybody watching this video is going to be going to the lower plane. I hope not, at least. The lower plane is essentially for drug addicts, alcoholics, very low vibrating negative people. The ones that are always depressed, unhappy. Oh, I hate life. Oh, la, la, la. You know what I mean? Those are where those people are going, and those people don't even know that they're dead. This is when you'll have ghosts. This is when you'll have attempts of possession. Possession isn't real. It's attempts on possession. Your soul is protected by this shield, this energy field, and it protects you from your soul being attacked by other etheric entities. So they can influence you. The best way they try to influence you is when you are on drugs or drinking, because they try to get that same sensation, right? Or when they're with people who murder, right? They're with those people because they want to feel those same sensations. They're not physically possessed. Their body is not possessed. There's not overran by this entity, but they influence it. And yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna be going there if you're watching my videos, because we're high vibrating, baby, and we don't vibrate that low. So yeah, and the second department is the middle astral. The middle astral is the middle astral is what the churches call heaven, essentially. It's a very angelic realm, and where the flowers are always vibrant, they're never dead. And people that come back from the astral plane from this experience, they'll say like this astral plane an imitation of Earth. And no, it's not. It's Earth is a very bad imitation of this astral plane. And I mean, you can access these planes every single night, every single day, any time of the day. You can access these planes, and I'll tell you why. This is where the CIA comes in. So there is a CIA experiment called the Gateway Experience, and there is a whole CIA document on my. There's a link in my bio on my Instagram that covers the entire thing. And I think I could put it in the Dropbox on the video, so I might do that. But there is an experiment where The CIA is essentially astral projecting, and they are trying to hemi sync their brain to astral project. Um, and they do this by listening to different audio tapes with different frequencies. I have the entire playlist with all of the audio tapes, um, right where you find the Dolores Cannon videos. So I have in the entire audio tapes if you want to try it yourself. And if you want to read the entire document, I have it for you guys too. So I would definitely look into it because it is very crazy shit. So the CIA did it. You can go to this every night, and this is what dreams are. Dreams are you going to the astral plane. You're talking to your guides, your masters, your um, you know, the people that you need to get information from. And you're going to these places. This is where you're having dreams. This is where you remember your dreams when you're either flying or you're in strange places or different random places. You know what I mean? And then the higher plane, the third plane, the higher plane is like basically where the schools reside. It's all where the schools are, and it's information on literally anything that you want to learn about. Um, they say people that come to Earth, because you choose to come to Earth, because there is everybody has karma, okay? And you come back to Earth to fix the karma from your past life. So then otherwise you're just carrying this bag of garbage with you. And you don't want to do that because it doesn't go away unless you resolve it. So you have to resolve it. You have to resolve the karma. And by doing that, you find the people that you had the um, karma with, and it's all a play, guys. You have to understand that you come into this life, you literally pick your parents, you pick your body, you pick what you look like, you pick your ethnicity, you pick where you want to live, you pick everything, you pick the exact scenario that you're born in. So understand that you chose to be here. You chose to be here. And there's no getting out of it. Suicide, if you do that shit, you gotta come back. There's no getting out of it. It's all learning. You can't skip a grade, right? You can't go from first grade to fucking sophomore year. It doesn't work like that. You have to go grade by grade, and it's hard. They give the people, I want to, the people. It's masters, elders, higher beings, higher spirits. They give creds to the people that want to come to Earth because it's very hard. Um, you saw that fucker too. Um, but they give creds to the people that want to come to Earth because it's hard. It's a very dense planet. And like I said, this is where you learn emotions and limitations. So imagine not having emotion. I can't, to be honest with you. We're all living with emotion. We're all learning how to live with emotion, learning how to control it, have a better control over it. And some people let their emotions get the best of them, but that's all the learning process. It's all about the growth, and you can't escape the growth. You know, this is a little side topic, but why this is all about a learning process is because the Big Bang was essentially God expanding. God said, learn. The Big Bang was essentially all the planets, galaxies, stars, solar systems, universes, souls, us going out there, and he basically said I hate saying he because it doesn't have a gender. It's just energy. It's just energy. So when I say he, I feel like that's my Christian upbringing. So that I feel like that's trying to, I don't know, it's hard. It's me resonating, I guess. It's the best way to resonate with you guys is calling it he because that's what we're used to is calling God he. Um, but it's not. It's not a he. It's just my best way of interpreting it to you. God said, learn, learn my children and explore, learn as much as you can, grow as much as you can, fail as much as you can, but do your best and just learn. And that's why all these planets are schools because it's different levels to this. It's all different levels because you're vibrating on your frequency, and once your frequency starts rising, you go to a different level. It's all a game, really, if you think about it like that. You're trying to get to the next level. You're trying to become the best version of yourself to get to that next level by vibrating as high as you can to be the best version of yourself. And as you're vibrating on that frequency, you're attracting everything else that's on that frequency. So it's like you're a magnet. You're a magnet to the things that are on that same frequency. Thoughts are frequencies. So when you are on a frequency of the same thought, regardless if it's a negative thought, like if you are depressed, you're going to start thinking negative thoughts. If you're in a happy, joyful mood, positive mood, you're going to think more happier thoughts because it correlates with the energy, the vibration that you're in. So that's how we elevate, just by getting better, just by growing, just by learning. And that's why I feel like we should not fear death. Death is just the next adventure. It's the next chapter in this reality that we call life. And it gets rid of that fear factor that we have of the unknown. I do not believe, I absolutely do not believe that once you die, you're in the ground and that's it. There's just there's nothing. Nothing happens. I don't believe that. The universe is too precise with the patterns. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe everything happens for a reason. It's the way that we are mechanically and biologically engineered is mind blowing because I how does it just happen? And I feel like this is one of the biggest wonders of human society is how the fuck did we get here? I mean that and is the earth round or flat? I feel like those are the two biggest wonders. I watched a video the other day of 19 pilots talking about how they believe the Earth is flat, all because of how um, it's only horizontal and never bends. They actually go up a 2 degree, or like I believe it's a 2 degree point when they're flying. They don't go downward to with the curve, and I don't know. I I don't know. I would believe that the Earth is hollow before it's flat. I feel like or round. I don't know, dude. That's a hard topic. This is not even what this fucking video is about, but that one's a hard topic. Dolores Cannon definitely goes into a lot more depth of what I'm talking about, but I feel like that is what resonates with me the most because once you start thinking about it like that, once there's one God and there's all higher beings, I believe these higher beings like Jesus and all these pharaohs and the Buddhists and the Hindus and all these gods, the Greek gods, all these people that were here were physically here. I believe they were just higher beings. They were higher They were more intellectual than the normal human, and they looked at them as gods because they were different. And I feel, you know how the game Telephone works. You know, the story over time gets stretched and very slim to the truth, but I feel like those stories generate from somewhere, and I don't believe they're just made up. I don't believe that. I don't. Dude, I'm talking about a lot. I need to fucking end this video. Jesus Christ. All right. I'm gonna have to make a lot of videos because there's a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna start making videos every week. I'm probably gonna cut a lot of shit out of here only because I tangent and went off of topic a lot. Um, but that's my concept. And it's just not my concept. There's thousands and thousands of people that believe in this concept, and I feel like for a good reason because it makes sense. Once you start dissecting it and watch those videos by Dolores because she's gonna explain it a lot better than I did, but it makes sense once you start, breaking everything down. Man, one of my buddies that I showed Dolores to, and actually that video that I'm telling you guys about, and he's a hardcore Christian. Like he is a hardcore Christian. He believes everything that, the Bible and the church say, and that's his right. He can do as he pleases. But I wanted to open his mind to this concept, and we watched this video, and he sat down through it, and he watched the whole thing, and he was open-minded to it, but he didn't really believe it because it collided with his religious beliefs. And it was more about the past lives. It was more about the past lives that he didn't really believe in, that she was talking about. And this was the most crazy shit. I'm not gonna say his name because he told me not to tell anyone, um, because he didn't want to sound fucking crazy. But he did a meditation where he astral projected, and he had this experience where he felt his soul leave his body, like his soul was forcing himself out of his body, and he was in this forest in this path, and there was a left and a right path, and he went down the right path, and there was this big tree that had a door in it. So he goes into the tree, and he looks around, and he's seeing all of these pictures on the wall all around the tree. And it's kind of like a Hobbit setting, um, like a cobblestone fireplace and shit like that. And he was looking at these pictures, and it was all pictures of him, but it was all pictures of his past lives. It was all pictures of what he was during that life. Almost in all of his past lives, he was a very high-ranking individual. And there was this door that was in the tree, and he opened the door. And it was these big ass doors. And he goes into the door, and he said it was like a medieval church, all cobblestone, dark setting, big bay window, and this long wood table with two chairs, one at the end and one right here. And he sat in the one right here. And all of a sudden, there was a light, a yellow goldish light that was coming down. I believe it was gold. I'm trying my best to recite this experience. And there was this light, and it started coming down, and it started forming into a person, and it formed into like a 9 foot woman. He said it was the most beautiful person that he's ever seen. Blonde hair, blue eyes, I believe. Very tall woman, like 9 feet tall woman. She was talking to him and telling him, certain things that he had going on about his life and how to tackle them and everything. And then, he had the conversation, and that was it. And he came back, left the room, and when he was leaving the tree, coming back down the path, there was a deer of a doe or a buck, a doe, and a fawn. And they were passing by, and it was like they were glowing. It was like they were very vibrant. Next morning, I mean, he came in and he told me about it, and I was like, it made him believe even more in what Dolores was saying. So give her videos a shot. Be open-minded. I plan on making videos every week because I feel like there's so much information that I have, and I'm doing so much research all the time that I want to give you guys this information because there's not there is a lot of people, but they're they're getting silenced. And the more people that come out and give the information that is the truth and that we need, I feel like it's for the better. So I'm gonna try to do that myself. Like I said, this was just a concept that I feel like could be closest to the truth. Um, if there is something life after death. So tune in next week, I guess. I appreciate you guys.